What's up, Miss Lady T? Ain't nobody here yet. Is anybody live? Is anybody live, Miss Lady T? Depending on somebody live, then let's see. Atmos live. Is anybody else live? Miss Lacey? I don't see nobody else live. Hey, Kimberly. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and start. Hey, Candace.
I hate to do this, but no, I have to. Oh, no. I know I've read all the articles, seen all the photographs, pictures of you and me.
Okay, next you finish. Okay.
I did all the interviews.
I ain't want to interrupt her.
I mentioned you at the billboards, walk right by you. I didn't want to make a scene because we agreed to keep it on the hush. Don't want everybody knowing about us. And I vow that forever I keep my word, baby. But I'm telling you now, the secret is driving me crazy. And I'm tired of creeping around with you. Really wanna be with you. Tell me what the hell are we gonna do?
Hey, Candace.
Like, baby, we can let the industry know. Because I'll cover, we'll be close. If anybody here so happens to see, girl, you've got your career, and I've got family, and girl, that's why
I'm good. How about you?
Because I'll cover, we'll be close. I want it to be you. Gotta keep it on the low. Nobody. Girl, we can let the industry know.
But you wanna know who's singing now.
Wait, said you be my shelter in the midst of stormy weather. Texas off, you telling me you are my umbrella. Girl, I just don't know what to do anymore. You
Say you love it, what you gon' do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spank you. That ass count, gotta make it last down. Start off slow, then I'ma beat it up. Hate on me, but no. Try to say stop when the beat say go. There you go again, that voice is watch you make your girlfriend go. Come on, Make your Bobby, the cousin ruckus in the industry, making this so she can't sleep.
What up, everybody? What up, everybody? How you doing? This is DanaJay. Welcome to the DanaJay Show. Hello, everybody that's here. I got Kimberly. I got Aisha. Lady G, what's going on? Miss Lady T Dixon, what's going on? Aisha Judd, hey. Let everybody know I'm here. Because tonight, you know what? I'm going to switch something up for a minute. I supposed to be crying up under the weather and all this. I want to talk to the ladies for a minute tonight. I want to talk to the ladies. Because what I'm going through with my friends is crazy. Candace said, I'm tired of these bees messing with kids. I feel you, Candace. But I want to talk to the ladies tonight because it's not cool. And especially whenever you have friends. But I'm going to get into that. Let everybody know I'm live. I don't know why y'all not getting notifications. But I'm live. I said 8 o'clock. I'll be going live. I gave y'all some time. Lady G in the building from the Enterprise. I want to say if you want to support this channel, you go ahead and hit the super chat at the bottom. And the super chat at the bottom is to support the channel. The reason being is because I get it every 21st day of every month. So whatever you put in the super chat, which is the tag at the bottom, I will get it on the 21st of every month. Okay? If you want to support me directly and immediately, I get it. If you look at the top of the live chat, you'll see the tip jar. I get it directly immediately, and that's through PayPal. But that's all you got to do is hit the link and then follow on through. If you really want to hit me again, you can support the Cash App. And as you see it going across the top, it's clearly just hit the Cash App at $ official DanaJay. Official DanaJay. That's the Cash App. But okay, check my DM. Where Fruit Flavors? You know I got like 9,000 pages. Where? Must be on IG. Okay. 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 Yeah, I see it, Fruit Flavors. I will not respond to this clown. I won't. I will not respond to this clown. That's where I'm at with it. Don't got time to be playing with these clowns. I don't even know these people. I don't know you. I ain't at you. Alright. So what I want to do is I want to specifically talk to the females. It's one thing to use your body to get what you want, and that's fine. But ladies, do not settle for nothing less. Do not settle for nothing less. If you know you deserve the best of everything, do not settle for nothing less. If you don't bring the table, then make sure you bring half of the table. And make sure the person that you settle down with brings the other half of the table. And I'm saying this for a reason. Because one of my homegirls has lost her life. And she is a Instagram influencer. And she used to dance back in Baltimore, and then she moved to Texas. She moved to Texas, her and her daughter. She was having a great life. She stopped dancing, everything. Met this dude, and she was like, oh, that's my husband, this and this and this and this. And I always told her, go into things optimistic and lead with your brain. Never lead with your heart. Your heart will have you in places and doing things that you know you have no business doing, and with people that you have no business being with. So with that being said, last night I got the tragic news. Now, y'all might see me on her Twitter. Y'all might see me on her Instagram. Everybody be on her Instagram. Everybody on her Twitter. She have just that type of body. And y'all gonna see. All the guys was lusting over her. Oh my God, just one night, just this and this. And me and her would sit up till about 4 o'clock in the morning and laugh at the comments. Then I'd pick with her and I'd be like, girl, you better let your boyfriend find out. I never thought that I would be going live saying I wish one of them dudes that was head over heels about her would have took her and treated her right instead of her boyfriend. I never thought I'd be saying this. Let me show you what I mean. She's one of the baddest. She's one of the baddest. Miss Mercedes Dior. One of the baddest. Laid back. Down to earth. Tatted everywhere. Piercings in the good spots. I now have to put rest in peace behind my friend or in front of my friend. One of the baddest influencers on Instagram and Twitter. Down to earth, humble, will give you the shirt off her back. Now Harmony is left without a mother and a father. Father got killed 2 years in Iraq. 2 years ago in Iraq. I'm lost to say that my homie is gone. Ain't no bringing her back. Ain't no nothing. Just spoke with her last week. Last thing she said was, screw them haters, Dana. Keep pushing. Free kills. Never knew that. Not the Sunday that just passed, but the Sunday before that was the last time that I would speak with her. I'm lost. One thing about me is that I treasure my friends. So if I ever call you friend, trust me, I treasure my friend. Now, let's read the write-up. which I don't understand. But I'm going to try to understand this. So let me take that down for a second. Whew, this is going to be hard. Okay. Instagram influencer Miss Mercedes Morr found dead in Texas apartment. And y'all see the date on it. Today, this morning. I found out last night. A model and social media influencer with millions of Instagram followers was found dead Sunday in her Texas apartment, according to authorities, who believe she was the victim of a murder-suicide. The bodies of the woman KANYE, which is Miss Dior, and the man Kevin Alexander Accardo, 34, were found in the apartment in Richmond after authorities were called to perform a welfare check, police said. KANYE had 2.6 million followers on Instagram, where she was known as Miss Mercedes Morr. Her last post was dated August the 17th. Authorities said investigators believe Accardo killed KANYE, then himself. Richmond police have not disclosed how they died. At this point in the investigation, it is not believed that there was a relationship between the suspect and the victim. The police department said in a statement Monday, Accardo was from Florida. The Fort Bend County Medical Examiner's Office will confirm the cause of death. The office did not immediately respond to messages seeking more information Tuesday. Neighbors in the apartment complex said the deaths have left them shaken until Sunday. They said the community about 30 miles outside Houston felt safe. What I thought was safe, it seems is not. Roderick Shaw told NBC affiliate KPRC of Houston. We have so many rules and so many guidelines, I would never expect someone to breach our security and someone be murdered on this property. Another resident, Edna Swiss, said, we have the gates, the fence. You got to have a code to get in, a code to get out. I'm just in shock. So with that being said, women, be very careful. Be very, very careful. Do not settle for anything or anybody who's not up to par. I don't care how they talk. I don't care how they think their penile work. I don't care how much you're in love with it. Think about yourself first. Think about yourself first. Remember, you deserve better. I don't want to have to read about none of my friends here. I don't care what a person can flash in front of your face. You deserve better. If they ain't talking about building, your legs shouldn't open. And that's facts. If they ain't talking about building with you, your legs shouldn't open. Know who the person is. And there's no time limit on if you know the person or not. There's no time limit. So I will never say give them 3 months. No, because you can give somebody 6 years and still not know them. But you can give somebody 2 months and know them through the back of your hand. You got to know certain questions to ask. You got to know certain questions to have. If you have kids, ladies, don't be so quick to bring your kids around who you dating. Because a date is just a date. Excuse me, a quick sex is just a quick sex. And I'm saying it because I'm monetized. Because y'all know what I really want to say. Do not have your kids around guys you just met. Because you don't know who you're dealing with. You might be dealing with Pookie that got child molestation charges. You might be dealing with Ray Ray, who got a murder in 2 states up the road. You don't know. So I was going to come and talk about that and Azriel. I ain't even going to talk about Azriel tonight. I want to hear from the ladies. And I'm going to be honest with you. The calling number's up. I want to hear from the ladies. Tell me what you think about this. I want to hear from you. This is a conversation that's needed amongst the ladies. Let's do it. Tonight is about y'all. So I'm going to take a break from Azriel and the stuff she said. But I'm going to talk about y'all. Let me see what page we on with Azriel. Let's see. Page 57. Alright. So, I'm going to say this. She can be any of you. Don't be shy. Don't be sad. Call in. We want to hear from you. Call in. Call in number 678-545-2955. She can be any one of you. And she can be any one of your daughters. Okay, Candace, I got it. So, don't be scared. Let's call in. Let's have a upstanding adult conversation. Nobody, and I'm going to go here, no conversation is a dumb conversation. You're live on the DanaJay show. How can I help you?
Hey, Dana.
Hey.
This is Coretta.
Hey, Coretta.
I'm calling because I know of her.
Okay.
I'll say that. I haven't seen her in a while. My husband even, he said, Coretta, I saw that today, and he said that's really sad because my brother actually has a friend that did some of her photography back in the day.
Okay.
When we were like in our younger years, when we hit the clubs in Baltimore and we hit DC clubs, and and some of her photos were done by one of my brother's really good friends.
Okay.
And so it's just hurtful to know that this has happened to her. She's a real sweet person.
Very down to earth. Don't bother nobody. We'll give you the shirt off her back.
Correct. That's it. And so, I just want to say, I have 4 daughters,
wow.
And I instill in them, if you're going to go be around other, you have friends, we just want to know who they are. We want to meet their families. We want to know that you're safe. We want to make sure that you are okay. And we do the dropping off, picking up, and we like a carpool family, And so that we know that you're safe wherever you are, and we always make sure that they can call us. We make we're nosy parents, kind of, sort of like. And this is actually my entire family. We just make sure we know where you are, If we have to drop you off and pick you up, if something's going on, if somebody's doing something, just pick up the phone, have the parents pick up the phone and let us know. So that is just what we do.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So I have a question. By you being a parent, right?
Yes.
How would you feel? How would you feel if you actually got a call to know that your daughter entertained a stalker or a boyfriend or something from a social media platform and he killed her?
I would be devastated beyond measure. I would not know what to do. I would just trying to figure out where I went wrong as a parent, or even find out, I would just be digging. I would just try to find out how could this happen. I would just try to find out, who was around her at the time. Like, I would check her phone. I would do everything that I could possibly do to find out how this happened and who was around her. Because we have so much of this in this country. I lost two of my girlfriends to their husbands ended up killing them.
Wow.
Each time I had a baby. So every pregnancy I had to go identify my girlfriends, and by the tattoos or by their dentures, their teeth. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So it's unmeasurable. I mean, and
yeah,
it happens. But when I talked to the parents of my girlfriends, they said they just either went to the doctor or on their way to work. You don't think nobody would, but some things, and even though this person was not affiliated with her, it had to be something that he, maybe she told him no, he couldn't talk to her. Maybe she refused his number. Maybe he got offended. And maybe he just kept on trying to, push up on her, and she just kept saying, no, I'm in a relationship, or no, I have this going on in my life at this time, and he just wouldn't stop. So, in her mind, she might not have thought to, seek, she probably just brushed it off and said, oh, this is probably somebody that's just a fan, but fans also can be dangerous.
Yeah.
People that see you online, know who you are, they could just start to, stalk you like that, and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody, just be careful who you entertain. Don't just think that somebody is just, you just have to be careful, because that's how people get in your life. You don't know them. And sometimes it could be somebody just genuine. And she probably didn't know that this person wasn't that way, but she just probably didn't want nobody around her at the time. She probably just felt like it was just someone that randomly, like, okay, I'm not in that good space right now to entertain this. He keeps calling, or he keeps not calling. He might not have even been calling her. He might have just weaseled his way in her life by just someone knew him, and and so they probably were like, oh, he probably a good person. She probably thought he was a good person. She probably let him in her house, and boom. That probably could have been better.
I mean,
and as far as a parent, me being a parent, I don't want anybody around my daughters that I can't secure, because I have too many people in my family that are either legal, military, and they not having it.
I'm just looking at it like it's crazy, because at the end of the day, if she overcame cancer, she overcame thyroid problems, but that's how her butt got so big, because she had thyroids, I guess, like in her hips and her legs or something like that, wherever it happened at. But she ain't let it stop her, and she toned her stomach, And a lot of people don't know this is 5 years of going to the gym, and this is the end result.
Diet and exercise is key.
Yep.
That's it. You know, the body does heal itself because it's its own
Self-healing,
mechanism. It does heal itself if you put the right things in it and you treat it right. You work out, you tone yourself.
Here, child.
She had a banging body.
Yeah, it's, oh my God. She had,
You know, my brother even said that.
and on top of that, she was the type of person that if I didn't look at her as a sister, if I ain't look at her as a sister, I definitely would have shot my shot.
Yeah. Well, Dana. Any man would have done that.
I definitely would have shot my shot.
You know, just because of how she is. She was so pretty, but then she was really charismatic. She just had that personality. She didn't care. She just said hi. You know, she spoke to everybody.
Right.
But then some people could take that as a shot. You know, like they had a chance to just, you know. My brother was cool with her too. So was my brother's friend, which was her photographer back in the day. Whenever she came in town to Maryland, because my brother lives in Baltimore, by the way.
Right.
I'm saying to you that, and her photographer lived next door to him at the time. So it was nothing for him to get a call and say, can you shoot me?
Right.
You know, and
right.
He would tell her, yeah.
Right, because her and Body used to shoot together.
Yeah. But it was no problem. I mean, you know, she was just that type of person. And then she would go back, you know, and do her thing. See, I love women to see them do their thing. When they're doing their thing and they cool, you know, and men too. I support that. I support you 100. I don't care about the craziness, but you know, that's why I tell everybody, look, I don't get involved in a lot of stuff because of the mere fact that I see the real from the fake. I'm not going nowhere but where I've been, and so I don't plan to do that.
Right.
You know, because I see growth, I see maturity. I see, you know, I see into things more so than some people, you know, and that's the reason why I said they just need to dismiss all this mess, and they need to pay us for our tax dollars, for real. We're spending on all these cases and stuff, because this don't make no sense. There's people dying in the world. If people don't have insurance to bury their loved ones, people getting thrown out their places for not even, you know, people losing their jobs. You know, this country got to do a transformation at some point. And people, you know, if you don't trust somebody, this is my last word. If you do not trust anyone, do not let them in your home. Do not be around them. Even if you have children, teach your children this. Do not talk. Remember the old saying, Dana? Do not talk to strangers.
Stranger danger, stranger danger.
Yeah. And if you feel that your child is in danger and she's a minor, please make a police report, file an Amber Alert report, and then if they're missing and they're held hostage, where's the Amber Alert and all this? I have not heard anybody talk about the Amber Alert.
The Amber Alert, they about to do away with that.
If they're minors, the Amber Alert can be alerted. I get it on my phone all the time. When a child is missing for a period of time, you know? So I just want to say God bless you.
Thanks so much.
I'm praying. I will support anything. You know, you always can. Let me tell you something. I already told them, I said this, they better leave you alone.
But don't tell them
You're a
nothing.
good dude. You a good dude.
But don't tell them nothing.
I just pray one day you get married so I can come to the wedding. That's all. You know.
One day it'll happen. One day.
You are.
One day it'll happen. One day I'll jump the broom and skip down the aisle and do backflips like Mama Bird. One day.
Yeah. I just pray that, you know,
All the good women are gone.
you gonna find, look, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Just know that. And you're a good person, and I believe that, you know, she's there, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's right in your face and you just don't know it.
But yeah, she getting on my nerves now.
You know? But you a good person. I just wish that they would stop. They can't gang up on you. And remember I told you they can't just be talking about you all the time. They need to find something else. Like, you know, it's okay to blog. Nobody hates the bloggers. It's just blog about stuff that is really pertaining to what we dealing with right now in life, in the world, in the society.
Right.
You know, don't keep on bringing up Dana. My thing is this.
They can't live without me. They can't live without the king.
That's why I told you they love you, because you bring it home. You hit home with a lot of stuff. And if it wasn't for you, I'm telling you, half the stuff wouldn't be out here on the YouTube streets. But I'm not just going to say you, because I sent you in one of the chats all the other people that belong, but they belong in a different way. They belong to legal stuff. And so that's why I see you at, really, to be honest, in the legal sector, because you already have that under your belt somewhat, a lot of it, and you're smart, and then you're a man, you have children, and you know how you want somebody to treat you and your children. And so you look out for a lot of women until they get crazy or whatever.
I got you.
But ain't all of them crazy. But you know, my brother said all of us crazy. He said all women are crazy.
All of y'all are crazy.
That's what he said.
All women are crazy. Every last one of them.
So
Facts, Tony.
Boy, bye. He's my only brother, though. But, you know, and I look at you like that. You're like next to him in a sense. Because you stay on women and you try to tell them basically what men go through. You know, that's all.
They don't want to listen.
Like, no, they don't. But I take heed to everything you're saying. I'm like, dang,
I be breaking man law codes and everything.
Yeah, you give it all up. Everything. You give up everything. I'm like, they ain't supposed to be talking about this.
Nope.
But good job, bro. You know, and let me tell you something. What happens if they see you, let's see, on a cover of a magazine?
That's coming.
Movies.
That's coming.
You can do it all. See, you are the one that can do everything.
Right.
And nail it in one shot. Because you've been around like that. You know where to go, how to get it done.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's why I sit back and tell people,
you
like,
don't want to see nobody legally get in trouble either. So you're going to look out for them on that end too.
Yeah, but me,
they hard and they better listen. I'm telling you that right now, because I'm telling you right now, if they don't, they're going to wind up where some of these other folks is. And I sure hate it for them. I'm telling you.
Right.
That's why I don't even entertain some things. Some things I do talk about because I know law. Thanks to my brother, my uncle, you on top of it, schooling, some stuff extra. But so I put this whole case together. I broke it all the way down.
Yeah, but I'm about to break this other part down too.
So somebody else can call in.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get off here.
All right.
I'm back in the set.
Okay.
All right. One love.
All right. Hey, look. You see the calling number, right? Y'all see everything that Kels is going through, right? I told y'all the other day the 4 people who's next in line. I said Cuba Gooding Jr., Chris Brown. But if I take Cuba out, you got Chris Brown, Trey Songz, and Kanye West. So let me take you to school for a second. Kanye West just had an album release, right? Kanye West just released Donda, didn't he? Well, what if I told you he got stabbed in the back and he didn't release Donda? Willie, I'm talking about music, but I ain't talking about sports, entertainers. I'm talking about music. Let's read into it. Kanye West claims Universal released long-awaited Donda album without his permission. Uh-oh. Now the next war is Universal versus Kanye. And you already got a secret war going on now, R. Kelly versus the government. When in actuality, it's R. Kelly versus Sony. So now you have... Now you good, Willie. So now you got Kanye versus Universal. Let's go. The Donda saga continues. Hours after Kanye's West's 10th album went live on streaming services, West took to Instagram with a post claiming that the label didn't have his permission to release it. Universal put my album out without my approval, and they blocked Jail 2 from being on the album. The Sunday Morning Post reads, Universal representatives did not immediately respond to EW's request for comment. Verity reports that resources at Universal call West's allegation preposterous. Jail Part 2, the 24th track on Donda, wasn't available on streaming services until several hours after the rest of the album made its debut. Stop. How did it get 24 tracks and it was only supposed to be 7? Y'all remember Kanye kept saying 7 tracks were supposed to be on the album. Hey, Ronaldo, this is why I tell people, don't be so quick to sign to a major label. Master P said it out himself. Alright? The Baby, who has come under fire for homophobic comments he made at a Miami music festival last month, appears on Jail Part 2. The album's second track, Jail, features Jay-Z and credits Marilyn Manson as a co-writer under Brian Warner, Manson's real name. Manson is facing lawsuits over accusations of rape and sexual assault. Now stop. Why do it matter who's on this man's album? I'm going to tell y'all why it matters. This is his last album under Universal. He's free now. So they want all the money they can from this album. When I say Kanye was smart, and matter of fact, he knew what he was doing, he putting the people on the album that made the songs hot. But Universal was trying to block it, as you see. West, Manson, and the Baby were already in the news following a Thursday appearance at a Chicago listening party for Donda, the third such event in support of the album. In a since deleted Instagram post on Saturday night, Kanye shared screenshots of what appeared to be a text message chain between him and his manager, Bu Thaman, indicating that Donda's release might be delayed because he didn't have the Baby's clearance for jail. And now look, it might be delayed because he didn't have the Baby's clearance for jail, for the song Jail. So how was they able to put it out if they might not have got the Baby's in release? In the purported exchange, when Boo suggested taking the Baby off the track, West replied, I'm not taking my brother off. Let's do it again. In the purported exchange, when Boo suggested taking the Baby off the track, West replied, I'm not taking my baby. I'm not taking my brother off. He was the only person who said he would vote for me in public. On Amazon Music, Jail lists both Warner and Sean Carter as Jay-Z as songwriters, while Jail 2 credits Warner and Jonathan Kurt, the Baby's given name. West originally announced Donda, named for his late mother, in 2020. The release date was eventually announced as July the 23rd, 2021, before being moved to August the 2nd, 2021. It finally dropped overnight on Sunday. Okay, now watch this. Here are the learning points. Here are the breaks. Shawnee, you're right. Kanye making too much money. He's definitely next. And on top of that, Kanye has alluded that he will support R. Kelly for his own label. But I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that last. Kanye versus Universal, the learning points. Do anybody know what these keys mean? Do anybody know what these keys mean? I'm going to give y'all time key, skeleton key, invitational key, life key. So do anybody know what the keys mean? Recorder label, so damn low down. Yeah, it's true. So do anybody know what the keys mean? I'm going to tell y'all, when it comes to a record label, when you go sign, they will show you these keys in this point. The first key represents, and look the way it's facing. The first key represents coming in. The second key represents in between. The third key represents longevity, and the fourth key represents going out, which means that they are the keys of life when it comes to the record label. Those keys are the keys of life of an artist when it comes to a record label, because each one of them keys will unlock a certain point of your career. Let's go. I will start off by saying deals are getting better. There are more players in the ecosystem, and technology has led to more transparency than ever before. Even with that being said, treacherous deals exist and happen every day. Kanye West, as Kanye West always does, did something bold recently. Here it is. Kanye did the unthinkable and actually posted his contracts to Twitter. That's a wrong move. You're breaking the code of honor when you do that. Revealing confidential insights to contracts that held together some of hip-hop's most conveyed and respected music projects. The main focus here will be taking a dive into Kanye's exclusive recording agreement in 2005. And see how long they got him held captive? We're in 2021. They talking about 2005. That really is the agreement that set off a chain reaction. Artists of Kanye's magnitude have shared their discrepancies with the world, but rarely have any, if ever, shared the world their actual contracts. As always, this article is intended for informational purposes only, and is not intended to, nor does it create an attorney-client relationship. The content provided here is not intended to communicate or imply any future results or success. I strongly recommend that you speak with an attorney regarding the specifics of your case. Let's dig in. Kanye's exclusive recording agreement. On an agreement from 2005 between Rockefeller Records. Here we go. Why everything that happened got to deal with Jay-Z? Why everything have to deal with Jay-Z? Okay, on an agreement from 2005 between Rockefeller Records and Kanye West Entertainment Services Inc., Kanye agreed to one initial contract period with 6 options. In the agreement, you can see the first album, College Dropout, has already been submitted and released. Granted the success of that project, it's safe to say it's an easy decision to pick up that option. The next section that is particularly relevant to the ownership conversation is the rights section. The second sentence in the section is an infamous sentence that still applies in contracts these days. All master recordings recorded during the term which embody the performances of artists from the inception of the recording thereof, all artwork created for use on or in connection with phonograph records or other derivatives of such master recordings, including without limitation mobile materials, shall be deemed works made for hire for RAF. The works made for hire language is extremely important because record labels in the past have tried to deny artists any reversion rights granted in U.S. copyright law because they claimed they were always the rightful copyright holders, not the artists. Now you see what R. Kelly's going through. Now y'all see what R. Kelly is going through. It is always important to remember authors of copyrighted works can reclaim the copyrights to their original creations after a period of what? 35 years. September the 3rd will be what? 35 years for who? R. Kelly. Now you understand why they need to keep him in jail? And I'm going to say it again. Authors of copyrighted works can reclaim their copyrights to their original creations after a period of 35 years. So if you have assigned your copyright, you can get it back. But if someone is claiming works made for hire, you might be out of luck. Next, you will see the all-important advance language that sees Kanye West receiving a $2.3 million advance on full execution of the contract and an additional $1.2 million for recording costs. While most artists would struggle to use $1.2 million, Kanye is one of the few that not only would use such funds but make good use of it. It's also important to remember Kanye's sample of collaborative work style can be expensive. Next, we get to the royalty section, which is clearly from the pre-streaming era. For singles through retail channels, Kanye's royalties rate was a measly 8%. Jesus Christ. 8% of $100. Jay-Z need to be ashamed of himself. For the second contract period, Kanye royalty jumped to 12%, albeit still measly. For albums, the royalty rate with respect to master recordings during the initial contract period was 14%, with incentive-based escalations all the way up to 18.5%. Three important things to always remember about royalty rates. They are paid out net sales or net receipts only after recoupment of those advances and recording costs, or really any costs, and defer via format. So let's stop right there for a second. That means that since R. Kelly is getting all his royalties, that means from the 12-play album, he over-existed and over-exerted what a Sony gave him and what Jive gave him. So Sony and Jive is eating off all the other albums as well as the 12-play album. So now you see why they don't want him to have his masters. Let's finish reading. Although there are other really important sections in this agreement, focus on these three until you get a deeper understanding. Overall deal grade, C minus. Wow. Analysis. This agreement sets the tone for the leverage Def Jam Universal has had over the years. The biggest thing here is the 7th album Kanye Ode to Rockefeller Records, RAF, and later Island Def Jam in 2020. 7 album deals probably still happen, but I've personally never done one and would never allow a client to do one. While the amount of albums might seem like a generous notion of belief initially, the labels will use terms like ROI, meaning return on investment. 6 option periods is incredibly long, to be quite frank. I'm also tired of the ROI language from people trying to justify predatory contracts. Wow. Let me see what y'all saying. Candace Love said Illuminati. Let me see what y'all saying. Put it up here. Said Illuminati. Loves Beautiful Jones said people are on her page. Said that she was setting men up. Nah, no she wasn't. Jay-Z ain't Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Y'all saw what he did to Rob when they did the Best of Both Worlds tour. He been low down and sneaky. Facts. Shiny said, ooh wee, truth shall make you free. Yep. That part, Shawnee. Man, they need to give that man his masters, or we can do them like Tick Dick Clive Dick. Oh Lord, no you're not. Here we go. OMG, yep. He is going to sue them for real, yep. Additionally, context matters. This agreement is dated April the 13th, 2005. Yet Kanye's critically acclaimed album, The College Dropout, came out February the 10th, 2004. They changed the dates on this man. Wow. The College Dropout debuted at number 2 on the U.S. Billboard 200, selling 441,000 copies. Hold on, y'all. Hey. I went straight to New York. No. Okay. Okay. Okay, but let me call you when I get off live. Yeah. Yeah, you jump on. Alright. Alright. I'm gonna call you when I get off live. Alright. Alright. Selling 441,000 copies in its first week of sales, the album spawned some of hip-hop's most cherished records, including Through the Wire, Jesus Walks, All Falls Down, and plenty other hits. It looks as if Kanye's legal team prioritized money over anything else. As noted above, Kanye was to receive a $3.5 million recording fund, including a $2.3 million execution advance for what would be known as late registration. In the first week of release, late registration debuted at number 1 on the U.S. Billboard 200 and sold 860,000 copies. Late registration produced gigantic hits like Gold Digger, Touch the Sky, Heard 'Em Say, and many more. Hold on, let me see what y'all talking about. Tony said, "Cuzzo, you know how I do it. We ready to go to war, bro, for real. Like, they ain't about to just screw bro over. They about to know he got real and methods behind him." Facts. Kimberly says, Sony is trying to devalue Kel's copyrights and publishing by dragging him like this. They are beyond evil and all the people and all of the people who are helping them. Facts, Kimberly. Facts. For this album, Kanye received a royalty rate of 18%, which is very similar to the number you will see today in a lot of recording agreements. Sometimes the royalty rate is 16%, and sometimes it's as high as 20% in a traditional record deal in 2020. There are a couple ways to look at it. One way is to look at the massive investment the label financially invested in Kanye. The industry hadn't yet hit rock bottom because of pirating and the economy, etc., but it was close. To receive that kind of financial commitment during that time, I guess you could be happy. Nonetheless, this was also a time where most albums were selling for $9.99 and up. Hard record sales, without factoring in distribution costs and other charges. The label is bringing in $10 million at a $10 price point if the album were to go platinum. Ain't that what I told y'all about Robert? At $10 million, at $10 a CD, if the album was to were to go platinum. Now look, y'all see it for yourself. So how many albums do you think Rob... Let's go here. How many $10 million do you think Rob is owed? I don't care what you spend. You can't spend $10 million in your lifetime. You cannot spend $10 million in your lifetime. I don't care what you're trying to spend it on. Is that facts, Kim? It's so sad and low down, right? Michael Jackson said it about Sony. Yep. This is true. Yep. Kim, we can be evil too. We can just trying to see how this case go for now. But don't tell him nothing, Tony. Years. That part. Facts. So question. If $10 million is a price if your album go platinum, right? So $10 million at $10 a CD if your album go platinum. Robert went platinum 34 times. 34 times 10 million is what? And gold is 5 million. And he went gold 22 times. So you be the judge. So the label is bringing in $10 million at a $10 price tag point if the album were to go platinum. Factor in single sales and ringtones, and that number becomes gigantic. Now watch this. Here you go. Would you be happy with a $3.5 million knowing the company is make? Would you be happy with getting $3.5 million knowing the company is making $50 million? So put 1 in the chat if you'll be happy with getting $3.5 million, knowing that the company made $50 million off you. Put 1 in the chat if you'll be happy to get that. Put 2 in the chat if you want it all. Put 1 in the chat if you're okay with getting $3.5 million. Put 2 in the chat if you want it all. If you want all your $50 million. I got 1, 2. And you can add me as 2. So it's 2 in there. Because Jay-Z and John Legend are, I believe, behind some of this mess. Yeah. I believe that. Probably $600 million to $1 billion because Kells wrote for himself and so many other artists. Right. So would you rather get 3.5 or what's owed to you? I want it all. Gold is 500,000 copies. Okay. $500,000. Facts. Thank you, Tyon. $500,000. Facts. So, would you be happy with $3.5 million knowing the company is making $50 million? Even in a world where we acknowledge the financial risk labels take, we're talking about pennies on the dollar. Knowing that Kanye West, that we all love today, the cost of creation almost always goes over budget. But he delivers and delivers 10 times. And we probably knew that after the first album. Hold on. Notwithstanding, there are a couple keynotes in 2005. Radio was almost certainly the most important driver of music. Labels have a stronghold on radio relationships. Oh, wow. So now we understand who was really and behind the mute R. Kelly. Labels have a stronghold on radio relationships. In 2020, radio still matters and labels still have a stronghold. But in the streaming era, playlists are cutting into the relevance of radio. Playlists are also a bit more democratized than radio, although you still have a better chance at cracking through if you are signed. In 2005, there was definitely more of an incentive to sign with a label than there is in 2020. I'd also point out that money was the name of the game in the previous eras. A great deal meant a massive advance and budget in 2020. More and more artists and their teams are cutting through the fluff and realizing a great deal means better terms and ownership. I'm completely okay with Kanye getting enlightened. For whatever reason, even though the system has certainly benefited him. Although Kanye was getting pennies on the dollar, at some point his art was supported enough financially, creatively, and promotionally to become a global superstar and music icon. Arguably, a top 5 artist ever. Artists are taught that you need a major label. I guess in some ways, there is some truth to that. Still, we need to be completely objective when looking at these things from the way companies even do recoupment. Oh my God. He's breaking it all the way down. Learning points. Keep options limited. Regardless of whether it is a traditional record label, distribution deal, or some new era hybrid, keep the option periods low. I'd always recommend doing deals for 3 projects or shorter. Remove album language. The EP and mixtape have ushered a new era in the music business, operating with record labels. In earlier times in hip-hop, words like mixtape meant street tapes, oftentimes with uncleared music used to promote an artist before an album. Parts of that hold true today, except mixtapes and EPs often spawn hit records and are often marketed like albums. In these cases, labels own the music, just like they would own an album, and have a budget for such. If possible, you want these to count toward your delivery commitment. Take less money. It's okay to take less money. I doubt Kanye regrets any of the money he received for his art creations that have inspired a whole generation. But it's clear he chose more upfront money to fund his dreams instead of renegotiating for ownership. We're talking about several amendments and side agreements that prioritize funding, which again, I'm not sure he regrets that decision. Still, the idea should be take what you need and only a bit more, so you have more flexibility. Strike when the iron is hot. For Kanye, he's always been successful. Every project he puts out either overperforms or performs as expected. For artists, there are a couple times when the iron is hot. One is when you've built a real sizable fan base and you are coming to the table with real leverage. Ayla Russ. Rush genuinely doesn't need a label. Another is when you have an insanely viral record like Curtis Waters, Stunning, or Arizona Zara's Roxanne. Both artists have the ability to leverage these records into favorable terms. The other time is after you have dropped a couple successful albums. You are a proven commodity that has made the label tons of money. In these scenarios, renegotiate your freedom. Wait too long and the leverage is gone. While Kanye was able to get his masters for Yeezus and everything after that, some of his most acclaimed works are owned by Universal. This is the point of contention. Now listen, here we go, I'm going to read that part again. While Kanye was able to get his masters for Yeezus and everything after that, some of his most acclaimed works are owned by Universal. This is the point of contention. Watch out for money-hungry team members. This is what Robert is going through. Everything that's here, Robert is going through. It's tough to make the right decision when team members are in it for self. Lawyers and managers have an obligation to do what's best for their client. Sometimes team members, however, focus on upfront advances because that is their big payday. Understandable given how backloaded music money can be. Still, you have to resist those urges at all times. Picking the right team will forever be the most important decision. Reversion. Remember this, reversion. Remember the word reversion. Labels do have a right to protect their investment, albeit not take advantage. But artists should have a fair chance at ownership. It's a balancing act. Thus, after recoupment, plus a certain amount of years, an artist should be able to get their masters back. If more artists were to have reversion rights and deals, this would be a major hit to the major label system because a lot of their money is made off of catalog music. If their catalog growth continues to shrink, they might feel squeezed. Conclusion. You might question Kanye's intent, but you can't deny that what he did was a bit admirable. In a space where things can be hidden and inaccessible, giving people insight to his terms is a real move. Still, there is plenty to learn from these agreements, and I'd focus on strategy more than the legal language. Get a lawyer. Short-term decisions oftentimes have long-term consequences. Additionally, I've seen a lot of takes that Kanye should have renegotiated better, and he's not a victim. Those things can be true, but those people are missing the point too. Ownership should be a standard. Also, labels can profit without taking advantage of underrepresented kids and black artists. 7 album deals, owning the music, and giving people pennies on a dollar is predatory. That's deep. That's deep. That's real deep. That's real deep. For somebody to call that out, that's real deep. That's real deep. So I'm going to say shout out to everybody here. That's going to end my lives for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. where we're going to jump into it. And we're going to jump into Azrael. We're going to read the rest of Azrael. Not all the way through, but we're going to do 30 pages tomorrow. 30 pages. So that means I ain't stopping until I get to page 107. That's 50 pages. Oh, man, 30 pages would be 87. But shoot, I'm going to stop until I get tired. I'm going to stop until I get tired. Then I'm going to take a break. Then I'm going to come back and give you some more. All right. I thank y'all for joining me. I thank y'all for everything. Don't forget, hit the tip jar. Hit the Cash App. Super Chat is still available until I close down. But I thank everybody for being here. All right. Y'all be safe. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Be someone important. Be yourself. And also remember, elephants don't swat flies. And jets fly over turbulence. Until tomorrow morning, I'll see you. Goodbye.
Say you love it, what you gonna do now? Hope you're ready, cause I'm really about to put it down. Girl, you know that I will never disrespect you. We love tomorrow, but tonight I wanna spank you. That ass count, gotta make it last down. Start off slow, then I'ma beat it up.
I don't like to waste time on stupid conversation. There's no profit in that. So if I'm around people that are always complaining with no solutions, then I'm wasting real estate in my brain for what I need to project. And what I project in my brain is what I project in my reality. So that real estate only has to be for evolution, things that are going to help me get where I got to go. You understand? Help me evolve. So if my conversation with you makes me stagnate, we don't have too much conversation either. I don't have no time for no stupid ass conversation.
Beauty is killing me slow, and even though I'm a little younger than you, it's okay. And I'm starting to feel that if people find that then girl, it's okay. But then I saw you up in the songs for nothing on up in a video. I was so pissed that I jumped right up and went straight to the studio. Because we agree, don't everybody know it about us. And if I live forever, I'll keep my word, baby. But I'm telling you now, the secret is driving me crazy. And I'm tired of creeping around with you. Really wanna be with you. Tell me what the hell are we gonna do all night? Oh, 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 baby, we can let the industry know. Because I'll cover, hey, we'll be blow. Anybody here, so have us to see. You've got your career, I've got got to keep it private, girl. This relationship to ourselves. Do I agree? Girl, it's killing me. Why do we have to hide from the industry? And baby girl, I'm tired of sneaking and creeping with one another. Every day it gets harder for me being your